Hello, hello. Welcome to Success Principles. Welcome. Just give it a minute. As you know, if you've been here before, you could always skip in a minute. If you're on the replay, you could always skip forward a minute. But I usually like to give it a minute or two just to let people jump on, so I can get the full principle message out as well as answer any questions. Um, so I am making sure everything's up and running as well. So what we're doing today is for the next 63 days. We did our first episode yesterday on Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles. I took the principles from this book to change my personal life as well, and at the same time, I incorporated these principles into real estate investing. So I wanted to take these 64 principles over the next 64 days and talk about the principle that Jack Canfield presents and discusses from his version, and then incorporate it into my personal stories and real estate investing stories as how they apply to me, and give you scenarios how it's changed my life through my journey. So hopefully, if you're getting started in real estate investing, or even if you've been in it a while and you're in a slump or you're stagnant, the market's changing or whatever it is, maybe you could pick up this book and apply some of these principles into your own life and continue moving forward and capturing what you like to capture. Once again, my name is Mike DelPrete, Executive Director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. We represent real estate investors throughout the whole entire state of Arizona and throughout the country. So if you're looking to invest in property here in Arizona, we got you covered in that area. So our mission at AZREIA is to provide resources, support, education, networking, market updates, government affair information, so you can make the best decisions within your business and be successful in real estate investing. We've been doing that for 21 years straight. We're actually celebrating our 21st anniversary November 13th here in Scottsdale, Arizona at Venue 8600, and then also celebrating in our Tucson chapter November 14th at the Tucson Association of Realtors. So you could always go to azreia.org and check out more information on what we're doing, from raffles, prizes, charity drive to Maggie's Place. It's going to be education with Sean McCloskey. It's going to be a great event. Market update by Tina Tambor. A lot going on. So today the topic in the principle yesterday was take 100% responsibility for your life. So go back to the last episode and check that out. If that is the foundation of everything. You got to be responsible and avoid those excuses. So today we are going to be talking about be clear. Be clear as to why you're here. So now you're taking full responsibility on your life, and now you have to be clear as what that mission and what that passion is. Be clear why you're here. The principle. So I'm going to start off with going through Jack's description of it. So I'll be kind of reading through that with you. And if anything pops in my mind, I'll go over it. So, this principle of being clear dives into the importance of understanding your purpose, your why. We hear that a lot. And the driving force behind your aspirations and actions, Jack Canfield underscores that having clarity about your life's purpose acts as a compass, guiding you towards fulfilling experiences and success, right? You need to have that. You may have heard the word true north, right? So even before I guess you could even say before your business, like why are you getting into business, right? Why do you want to do that? Or real estate investing, or whatever it is that you're trying to go towards, right? Start asking yourself that. According to Canfield, individuals who are clear about their purpose are more likely to be successful, happy, and content. Do you want that in your life, right? Compared to if you're going through some stress, you're going through some heartache, you're going through frustration, right? How does that feel, having success and happiness and being content in your life? They understand what they are passionate about, what they value, and hence make decisions and choose paths that align with their core beliefs and their desires. This principle encourages us to explore and define our personal mission statement. By identifying and articulating what is genuinely important to us, we can create a life that resonates with our innermost desires and passions. In essence, be clear why you're here. It's about alignment in your life between your actions and your purpose. It's about using your unique strengths and passions to make a positive impact, leading to not only personal success, but also contributing to the world around you. So I read that. So, not the best reader there. So what do you think about that, right? So if you're watching or you're watching the replay, drop comments. I'll be in the comments as well, responding to whatever questions you may have, or you could even jump up the next day and ask those questions. But at first, what I could say, when I first started, I just wanted a better life, right? Like I was working, I was a job hopper, right? So I would say probably a decade ago, it was probably more frowned upon to go job to job to job. Where I think nowadays companies are changing out. It's more common to have multiple jobs, but at that time, I wanted stability. I had a wife, a son, a house, a mortgage, car payment, all that stuff. And you want stability, like content, right? You want to know that your family's taken care of. So a lot of people start around their why, around their family, right? So it's like my why was my family to have, I always said, hey, I wanted to do what I want, when I want, with whoever I want, wherever. And I'm always wondering, how do you even get there, right? And real estate has provided me that avenue to do that. So at first, like I always said, it's my family. I know a lot of people say, hey, it's your family, and I get it. I think I even would even go down to saying maybe it wasn't, right? It was, but wasn't, meaning we move away from pain and we move towards pleasure, right? So that's how we make our decisions. And I didn't want anything bad to happen to my family. I didn't want to be broke, right? Because I wanted to have a house, right? I wanted to have a reliable car, a reliable house. I wanted to have experiences with my family, going on trips, vacations, whatever it may be, sports events, Suns tickets, whatever it is. I wanted to enjoy those times with my family, and I didn't want to be broke. If I was to sum it up, I was scared to be broke, right? So I'll do whatever I possibly can not to be broke, right? And growing up, as to, I don't know where we're all from or where you might be from, but we all have these environments, right, that might not be the best, that we're only exposed to the people around us, and it's not their fault. They only know what they know, right? No blame on them, but that's where we started, right? So I knew when I was working at Verizon Wireless and I was in the cubicle, dreading to go there every day, I knew I deserved better. And what drew the line in the sand was when you get allotted so much time on break, right? And had to punch out a little timer box every time I was, you take a break, right? So I went over like 6 minutes or something at the end of the month, and they gave me a warning shot, like, yo, you can't be doing this. It was like 6 minutes. I'm like, wow, I didn't do it on purpose. I did, hey, I'm wrong, right? That was the rules, but I broke the rules, but it was just too much. That was the line. I was like, I will not be here much longer, and I'm gonna figure it out, right? So you have, so my why was to get out of there, to move away from pain, bring a better life to myself and my family. So now, as I've been in the business for 12 years, it evolves and it changes. It's still deep down, I'll never want to be broke, right? So you got to, come up with some statements for yourself. So ask yourself, what are you passionate about? Like, what do you like to do, right? It might be hard at first and might take some time, might not happen overnight. And like I said, it could change. But like, I'm going to give you some examples from the book that they use, right? So you got to decide what you want, and then I would like to talk about, like, how can you incorporate what you want into the business, apply it to the business that you're going into. Hopefully, real estate investing is, if you're listening, is why we're here. So, some examples: to inspire and empower people to achieve their destiny, to uplift humanity's consciousness through business, to leave the world a better place than I found it for horses and for people too, to create and inspire 1 million millionaires who each give 1 million to their church or charity. So it's some basic examples you can use. Mine over the years, as you know, I went from wholesaling property, no money, no credit, um, getting properties under contract, selling my interest in the contract to a cash buyer, which is a fix and flipper or a landlord, right? So it's little to no money down. It's a great way to get started into real estate investing with not a lot of experience. And I got to learn the business by wholesaling real estate. And I was able to make $5,000, $2,000 checks, $10,000 checks or more over the years as I got better at it, right? So, then you start to learn how to flip. You start to hang out with flippers and landlords. You learn the importance of owning rental properties for cash flow and streams of income coming into your life. The more streams of income you have, the more financially healthy you are. So you get to learn these lessons from these people as I grew as an investor. And it ultimately led to being the executive director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, which is the largest association in the country. So, and as I evolved and grew and saw how real estate impacted and changed my life and changed my financial future, I'm still pinching myself every day and being thankful that I'm here to even talk right now to you and share this. So, I adjusted, my personal, statement, which is to improve and inspire lives through real estate investing in a context of authenticity, right? So I'm not going to come up here and flash things and dangle carrots in front of your face to get you excited so I can get you to buy something. I'm just going to just be me. And that's how I got in the door of being a director of this association, is just being myself, helping people out the best I can, giving the resources the best I can or the information, and just being true to myself. So that's how I'm going to approach. That's how I approach everything. So with authenticity, I'm going to share the power of real estate investing to others. That's why I wanted to start with this Jack Canfield's principles, because it's the basics. Some of us just need the basics before we even understand what real estate investing is and what it can do for us. We need to get our mind right. We need to be thinking right. We need to be on the right path. When I made that decision in Verizon Wireless, the radio station, right? I think it was even Christian radio was what I was playing. I just had to get it away from the lyrics of other music that I was listening to, right? So I had to get the more you feed your mind, you are who you hang out with. You are what you listen to, right? That forms your brain and your thoughts. Yesterday we talked about event plus response equals outcome. So I'm responding differently. So by putting better information, reading this book and 64 lessons, listening to better radio station driving to work, or podcast driving to work, after work reading properly, going into networking events, real estate investing networking events, getting around people that are actually in the business starts formulating a different vision and different mindset, and you start getting different responses, right? So I encourage you to write your why. Just jot down what your beliefs are, what your values are, right? Why do you personally, what do you want to accomplish in this life? What kind of example, what kind of leader, and when I say leader, it doesn't have to be of a huge organization or, huge following. It could just be within your family. It could be within your community, right? So what type of person do you want to be? What goal do you want to go out and achieve? And then when this, like, for example, on the one that said horses, right? How in real estate can you apply that, right? So a big problem here in Arizona, I think probably a lot of areas of the country, is affordable housing, right? Or the lack of housing. So people need places to stay. So a lot of I noticed myself here in the Phoenix area, I used to take on the idea of going into tougher neighborhoods and buying property, which we do own in the Sunny Slope area of Phoenix, and we would keep the rents affordable, right? Yes, we've increased rents. Yes, it's a business, but we don't jack them up like some other corporations that buy properties in the neighborhood and just try to max out on every penny. We keep it to an area where people can still live there and have a decent life. Um, so affordable housing. I know a lot of people come into real estate and they want to help others have safe, clean, affordable housing in good neighborhoods so their kids could still go to a decent school or hang out with the friends they've been growing up with, right? So a lot of people in real estate investing take on that purpose of finding affordable housing and safe housing and being good landlords, and provide and making these neighborhoods and the streets they own houses on a better place, right? So is that something maybe you can do, right? And that could even go for fix and flippers, right? Do you want to go in and transition these vacant houses that have been, um, destroyed or drugs or vandalism? The neighbors don't know what to do with that house. They don't have the money to fix it up and just buy a second house. So you can be that fix and flipper that goes into these communities, renovates the property, and gets a nice family in there, right? And you list it at the going rate or the affordable rate where someone can go in there and buy it and start their family, right? So there's so many great things that you can do with real estate investing to apply to your why, that you have for yourself and your family, and then you can incorporate that. And that's kind of like that why, that North Star is kind of like your compass, right? So it's going to be your compass. So when you're going into real estate to provide affordable housing, safe, clean, affordable housing, for that people can move into and enjoy their lives, that's kind of like your decision maker. Like that's how you make all your decisions going from the top down. I got sidetracked on that in real estate in my first 2 years in the business because I had a business partner and I just wanted to learn. And we did a lot of deals. We did very well, but it was all about the money. It was all about grinding people down, whether it's the homeowner getting the rock bottom. If I can get an extra $1,000 off, we would do it, right? If we can go to the buyer and get an extra $1,000 up, we would do it, right? So it was just kind of, and it kind of felt, it was draining, right? It was like it was just all about the dollar, right? So it is business, it is important, but you're just, as a wholesaler, you're just draining everyone you possibly can to make the most for you in the middle, and then with that, the business I was in, right? Nothing against that situation. I learned a lot from it. It was always like, who can be at the office first, who could be there the latest, and it was just a competition. It was even though it's okay to compete, but it's like it was just, like I said, it was draining. I wasn't making decisions of like, hey, is this helping? I was making the money that was keeping the lights on and doing the extra things and the memories, but I was working so much I didn't have the time to do that. You had, the money was in the account, right? But you weren't doing anything because you're working so much to make more money and drain more people. So it kind of got a little out of hand. So I parted ways with that when I realized I was drifting, right? That's a good book too, by Napoleon Hill, about drifting. I was drifting from the ultimate North Star, the ultimate idea. I wasn't making decisions on who I was and who I wanted to be and where I was going, because I was in this situation where I was like, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice my personal statements to learn the business and get in business with someone I don't know and learn the hard way, right? Sometimes that's what happens. So that's what we're talking about today, is your why. So I think it's very important to understand that, in order to move forward. And yes, you may drift away from it. Yes, it may change, but you know, get back on track. That's all we could say. You could drift away, but you could always come back. Right? It's never too late to get back on track to your core values. So, like I said, I have my why for AZREIA, right? My goal is just to impact as many people as I can through real estate investing. Because even if you bought one house a year, right? You don't have to be flashy. You don't have to buy all this expensive stuff and have 100 houses. And to tell you the truth, a lot of people that say they own 200 houses, 300 houses, 10,000 houses, It's a great position to be in, don't get me wrong. But they don't own them all together. They don't own them all by themselves. They don't own them all free and clear, or whatever it may be, right? They have partners. They have funds, right? They get a percentage of that. It's a great percentage, don't get me wrong, but it could be, when you don't understand it and you're new to real estate investing, it could be overwhelming, is what I'm getting at. So I like to say one house at a time. I went to a seminar years ago where this lady, the headline was like, through become a millionaire through real estate while working full time, something along those lines. Because we get pushed and thought, people tell us we got to quit our job, burn the boats. It's cool, but I didn't do that, right? So this lady at the presentation I saw just bought one house a year, worked a corporate job, great credit, job history, right? She was in there for like 40 years. She worked at the same job. She loved what she did. She was passionate about what she did. And every year she just bought a house. So after 40 years, she had like 40 houses, right? They're all different levels of how much she owed on them. But think about that. Every house, an extra 300, 400 bucks a month, the equity, the appreciation, the depreciation write-offs, all this stuff that she achieved with these houses. It's not just about the cash flow. Having 40 of them where she can now retire and live off that cash flow very well, as well as knowing she could pass that down to her kids and so on, and change their lives and inspire and help their lives and her grandkids in the future. So it's important. So don't just take it once. Start with the mindset. Start with reading this book, The Success Principles, or whatever book or podcast that gets your mind right, that fits for you, right? There's no right or wrong way. So that's all. Ask yourself, why do you want to invest in real estate? What do you hope to achieve in real estate? What passions do you have that you can apply, to real estate investing? Whether maybe it's donating, right? Maybe you, I know people do like group homes, sober living homes, and you can maybe provide housing for those organizations, right? They have government funding where they could pay you rent for the house that you're providing, right? There's just tons and tons of ways to accomplish your why, your personal why, with real estate investing, so you can live the life that you've always wanted to live. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. I'll be doing this for 64 days straight, every day live on this AZREIA channel. If you have you want to learn about real estate, we have the AZREIA show. You can listen to over 100 podcasts that you can listen to. Go through the shorts for some tips. Go through the other videos we have, like how to buy your first rental property. There's just so much you could dive into on our YouTube page. So check it out. If you want to check me out on Instagram, it's at Michael DelPrete. And if you go into the show notes, we have a library of ebooks. So if you click on that link in the description, you'll be able to download any ebook that we have. I think maybe like 10 of them in there, from wholesaling, landlording, fix and flipping, notes, why real estate is an ideal investment, IDEAL. Break that down. Check them out. I'll be back. So yesterday was Saturday. It was our first one. Today's our second one. Tomorrow, on Monday, is our third one. I'll probably jump on here at noon to go over this. So what are we talking about tomorrow? Principle number 3 is decide what you want, right? So we talked about 100% responsibility for your life. No more excuses or blaming or shaming or justifying all your excuses. You're clear why you're here. You're here to provide, whatever it is, housing for others, so people have a place to live, safe, clean, affordable housing. You're going to do it through real estate. Now decide what you want, right? What do you want from providing that housing? Do you want cash flow? Do you want appreciation? Do you want 100 houses? Do you want 2 houses? What do you want with all that? So we'll break down step number 3 in Jack Canfield's Success Principles. That's all I got. So I truly appreciate anyone that takes the time to listen to these. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give it a like, give it a comment, ask a question. This is the most important part to any business and anything in life is these fundamental mindset principles that will lay the foundation for your business and your family life or whatever it may be. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I will be back for day 3 tomorrow, Monday at 12. I'll jump on here. And that's all I got for today. It's a wrap.